Lego doesn't own the license to do Halo minifigures and sets. Mega Bloks is the one company that does. You guys have probably seen some of their minifigures and sets in stores. They're very cool, but we all know that I love Lego, and a lot of you guys watching this channel obviously love Lego. So what's cool about this is I've done custom minifigures and weapons for Halo minifigures in the past, and I plan to do a lot in the future. And one of the things that I made recently was the Halo Elites. But what's cool about this is I'm using the Lego minifigure as a base, and these are different custom injection molded parts that go onto the minifigure to make it a elite minifigure. Now, we're gonna go in depth with the scale and size of this, and we can start out by showing that off with one of my elites here next to one of my normal Mark V armor minifigures here. So this is my generic Spartan armor. You can see how the elite is a little bit taller than the Spartan, as it should be in game. And then of course, if you guys look at pictures online, the elites are a lot larger and a lot taller than a normal human, even though the Spartans do have, you know, large boots and a large helmet to make them a little bit taller. But we really wanted to nail the scale of this, and I think we did a good job of making it just a little bit taller, a little more intimidating. And then if we take a look at a Halo Marine, you can see this is just a generic Marine. It's about the same height as a Spartan minifigure, so that's a good scale. And then we will go in depth in a different video with my Halo Grunts, and you can see the Grunt is the smallest out of all of these. Once again, Grunts are quite large, however they all are smaller than humans or Spartans, and of course they're definitely smaller than elites. So that was one of the main important things to do with this elite, is we wanted to make sure the scale was right. So I think we nailed that. The next thing we wanted to do was we knew we had to do a custom molded head. We couldn't really think of any other way to do it. There were some brief talks about doing like custom printed heads, or maybe using a Lego existing head and then doing printed elements to it, or like a molded piece that goes over the head. But the problem is the Lego head's just too bulky, and the elites are pretty slender and slim when it comes to the head. So that's why we had to do a custom molded head. I'm really happy that we did though, because if we take a look at this head, there's a lot of details. We've got the teeth, we've got the eye sockets and the pupils, and we got this really cool, like, it's not hair, but it kind of looks like hair with like the fins on the back, and we've got like the neck that looks really nice and beefy. So I'm really happy that we did that. Moving on down below, we have, this is like a torso chest piece, armor piece, so it'll be cool to see what other people use this for, not just Halo. So this simply slides over the minifigure torso, and then of course the head goes on top, holds it all together. The head you can rotate almost like a full 180 and still have a little bit of posability to the minifigure. So once again, we have a Lego torso, we have the Lego arms and the Lego hands, and then we have behind the hands, we have some VAM braces. So this is to give a little bit more armor to the minifigure, and then also give it that contrast. In this case, we're looking at a blue elite, but obviously I offer these in a bunch of different colors you can see here. So wanted to add a little bit more color and armor to this minifigure, make him look a little bit wider and beefier and souped up, if you will. So that's why we added the VAM braces. Then moving down, we have the Lego hip pieces. So those are the only Lego pieces themselves on the minifigure. So we have the hips are Lego, torso, arms, and hands are all Lego. The rest, everything in blue here, you can see is our own product. It's sold in a set on my website, or you can buy a completed figure. So this next piece is like some belt armor. So we really wanted to make sure, once again, we got the height of the minifigure. And the only way to do that was to add a little bit of height here and there. And I'll show you guys that on the feet. That's another way we got some added height to make this guy taller than a Spartan. So it added a little bit of height, not by much, but enough. And then it also gave, once again, more color contrast going around the belt, a little bit of armor in the back. And then we've got these really cool like front shin guard or like knee armor, whatever you want to call it. So I'm really happy with that. It breaks up the minifigure, it gives it more depth. And with this armor, you can still pose the legs quite a bit. So that is one benefit of it as well. Now, next up, we have the legs. These are based off of the Lego, I think it's like the Stranger Things creature thing. I don't know what it's called, like the Demagogue or something like that. We made those based off of that. They're a little bit different to work with our armor pieces a little bit, but that's what they're based off of. And then I don't think I mentioned this, but in the bottom of the belt piece, the bottom of the the bottom of the helmet itself, actually, or the head, if you will, and then the tops of the toes All these parts are marked with BT, and then in the helmet it actually says BT and USA because these are made right here in Washington State. So kind of a cool little feature. I wanted to add something. You always see Lego pieces that have markings in them, and I wanted to start doing that as much as I can because it doesn't really add cost, you know, and so I thought it'd be cool to start marking my parts. So we've got the legs. Then the last piece here is the feet, and what's nice about these, like I said, is it adds about 1 plate worth of height to the overall minifigure, and that's really important to get the minifigure taller than that Spartan minifigure. So with these feet pieces, you have a left and a right hand side. We have obviously the outside edges have a little bit more armor that goes up on the legs there, and then you have like these big toes on the front, once again based off the reference pictures you can see on the internet. And if you just play Halo, you can start to see why we did that. And what's cool about these is, of course, they do fit on a Lego stud. So if you guys want to use these feet on other minifigures, you can use them on just like a normal minifigure. It sure does come in handy, I guess, for certain minifigures, but I mean, if you put it on a clone trooper like you see here, it looks pretty weird. So it is cool. I wanted to make all these parts universal, and you could use them for all sorts of things. And I do plan to potentially sell these parts individually at some point. And for example, like the van braces, I think people would use for other Spartan minifigures or even like medieval things. And then I know a lot of people have been asking me to sell just the legs separately because I do offer them in a bunch of different colors that Lego doesn't. And I know a lot of people like these legs for other custom minifigures. So that is something that's on my mind, but these are all the parts. I believe there's 9 parts total to make an Elite. So quite a few pieces. It's actually kind of fun once you get a set of them because they just come in a plastic bag, and then you get your minifigure torso and hips, and you basically just sit down, and it's like a little mini Lego set. So it's kind of fun to build. I spent a lot of time making sure all these parts not only look good, but they fit nicely. So there's a lot of fitment back and forth that I did to get these just absolutely perfect. And I'm really impressed and really honestly proud with how these turned out. So what's cool, like I said, is I offer these in a bunch of different colors. Everything from, we've got the classic blue, classic red. I started doing dark blue and dark red. Those are probably some of the most popular colors. White is another one of my favorite. We also have metallic gold, metallic silver, gunmetal, dark gray, dark tan. I think I said yellow already. Black is another cool one. The black ones are cool. I'm excited to see some people do some custom painting on the black and white ones. And I'm already starting to see people post these on Instagram. So I'm really happy with the response to this. These were released on my Brick Tactical Day this past April, I believe it was. So huge hit, huge success. And I'm overall really excited with how these turned out. Like I said, they come in a bag, and it's pretty self-explanatory on how to build this. But if you guys are new to the channel and don't know what I do, I make all sorts of custom molded parts and accessories for Lego minifigures. It's specifically designed for Lego minifigures in this case, and all my stuff fits seamlessly. I spend a lot of time and a lot of money, honestly, making all this stuff just perfect. And everything I make is made out of ABS plastic. That's the same plastic that Lego uses on all their parts and pieces. And then also all my parts are made right here in Washington State in the United States. So I don't outsource to China like a lot of other companies. Everything here is done right here in the United States, and more specifically in my garage. So that's what's really cool about it, is I am a small but thriving company, and I appreciate all your guys' support. Let me know if you guys have one of these Elites in the comments down below, and then also go ahead and check them out on my website, link in the description. I'll see you guys in another video. Peace out.